Hello guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Today I wanted to make a quick video. I always say quick video. They turn out to be long. I wanted to make a video about shortcuts on VS Code. Well, first, it was thanks to the comment of Mike. Shout out to you. Thank you for such good suggestion. I really forgot about shortcuts. The thing about shortcuts, it's like a habit. Once you start doing it once, twice, the third time, the fourth time, it starts becoming a habit. So you do everything automatically and you forget that such things that you do them. So yeah, that was a such good suggestion. Thank you for the comment. And yeah, first, a key point here. When I am talking about control, it equals to command on macOS. When I talk about alt, it equals to option on macOS. Since I'm using Windows, I'll say most of the things in control and alt, even though I'll try my best to clarify that control is command as much as I can remember. So yeah, before getting to the shortcuts, I want you to keep in mind that using your mouse makes you slow. So the less you use your mouse, the more you will be faster at coding. So yeah, keep in mind, try using your mouse as less as possible and try always keeping, alright, how can I do this on the keyboard? Yeah, just get the habit of trying to do everything within the keyboard and everything in that regard. First, we'll start with what we can see and what matters to us the most, which is looking at the files we're going to work on. Rather than going to the Explorer here, what you want to do is Control B. You will use Control B or Command B every time you want to open the Explorer, rather than reaching out here. The next one is Control tilde or Control backtick, which will open the terminal. And here I'll usually use this quite a lot, to be honest, since I usually use React Bit to run commands to have a server running. Here, in order to open this one, we need to use the mouse, which I'll do Control click, and we have the project open. But yeah, Control tilde or Control backtick. The next one, I'll say the most important one. Now let's practice, please. If you're watching this video, practice with what you're seeing. Do Control B and Control tilde to close the terminal. And what I like to do when it comes to changing things on my project is searching for files. But rather than looking at them on here, trying to search, I don't know, I want to look for animations. Where were animations at? Was it at home? Was it at projects? So rather than doing this, what I like to do is keep everything close, do Control P or Command P and search for the thing that I want. For example, I said that I wanted animations. So let's search for here, animations. And we have animations right there. I didn't have to go to the files, look over everything. For example, I want to check home. Control P, Command P, home. And there we have it. It's just a very quick way to find files. I don't know, let's say projects. And now I'm in the project section. So yeah. So the next one we have is toggle windows. Hello guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Well, when I was editing the video, I saw that I didn't actually do the shortcut that I mentioned, so I'll teach you guys what it is. How can you switch between tabs? For example, if I want to go to projects, I'll click it and then I'll get there. But if I'm coding quickly right here and I want to switch quickly back to home, what I can do is Control tab or Command tab. And yeah, that is a very quick one, but still very useful one if you want to code very quickly between two different files. So yeah. So the next one we have is file split windows. This one is very useful if you have two monitors, one that you can use to look at the changes and one that you can use fully for VS Code. I myself don't use this one as much because at the moment I'm only working with one monitor, but I will show you how it works. For example, let's do Control and backlash, and there we have it. We have another window. For example, let's say we want to code with the projects.jsx and do a little bit of styling. We can do here Control P or Command P, and we'll do projects.css. And there we have it. We have it side by side, and it's very useful one if you have two monitors or you're just focused in the code and not the parallel feedback that browser sync or live server gives you. So yeah, this is extremely good one to know if you have the space. The next one, I use this one quite a lot. What I will do exactly is to concentrate more when I have too many files. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like I'm working on this and I'm working on that. I'll just do Control W or Command W, and I'll just do this on every file, and it will close file by file by each input that we give it. So for example, after closing everything, and I'll say, all right, I'm going to work, I don't know, on the footer. I'll say Control P and we'll search for footer. And there we have it. This next one is search in file. If you want to look for something specific in a file, usually a text or a number or even an element, or not necessarily an element, but a symbol, we can do it. For example, this doesn't has too much information, but I don't know, let's say I want to search for my name. And we see that we have it 3 times. How I got this menu? I got it by pressing Control F or Command F, and it will give you this menu. You can go down, you can go up, you can find everything very quickly. I don't know, if we go Control P, home, and I search for my name, Fred, there we have my name, just one of one. And it's super useful. And as you all guys can pick up on, we are combining different commands. I combined Control W to close the footer, and then I search up this home file by using Control P, and then I looked up my name by doing Control F or Command F. So as y'all can see, this adds up. The more you do it, the easier it will become to navigate through text. This next one, which is a very usual one, which is to use the arrows to look over on text rather than going here and adding something here and then using the mouse and going here and add something here. You will want to use the arrows if you're working in a closed space, for example a JSX, if you're working with divs, if you're working with spans. If you need to go very further away, then yeah, use your mouse. Well, there's something that's really key that I use is control arrows, which when you do arrow down or arrow up, it will move like the POV, but I mainly use it control arrows left and right. This is to move quickly on code. For example, let's say I want to change this to an A, and I'll change, I don't know, let me go to margin and put some 35 BH and then go up here. I want it to be a container fluid, and there we go. And that way I'm gonna go back down, and I want to remove this background animation, or I'll show you how to do that in a second, which is to select everything. But yeah, when you want to move with your code, use control and arrows rather than using the mouse to go here, 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 or I don't know, going to the left side and having to click multiple times to get to the BR. You can just do like 2 controls and move quickly. That is a very useful one that I use a lot. The next one, which was the one you saw before, which is selecting things rather than doing this. I don't know, I'm selecting the N, or I want to select everything here. I want to select all of this I. What you can do is with your shift, you can go back and start doing this. Start with the arrows. This is too slow, so you can implement the control. So what would you do is control shift or command shift, and then go to the right, and it will go way quicker. And there you will be able to highlight it, delete it, put it back, select all of this by just pressing it continuously, delete it, and anything you may want to do. For example, this, I'll delete it here like that quickly, control shift, and using the arrows. So it's a very useful one. The next one, now that we are in the lines section, when you want to comment out a line, due to the fact that there are many different extensions and many different languages and frameworks and so on, they usually have their comments in a different way. For example, JavaScript is like this. I low-key forgot about how it was done on JSX. But what you can do if you forget how to comment something, what you can do is simply do Control and forward slash. There we go. It is now comment out, and I mean you can do this on everything, on this JSX, on here. I'm not applying the principle now that I see myself, but you can do here. You can move up here and do this. And you can do this at any point in the line. You just have to be on the line. You can do it at the start of the line or at the end of the line. It doesn't really matter. If you want to select a lot of things and comment those things out, you can do Control Shift as I've shown you, and up arrow and left. That's what I'll do. There we go. Now we have everything selected, and we'll do Control slash forward, and we have everything comment out. So yeah, it's a very useful one if you want to comment things out. Well, this one specifically. The next one is copy, cut, and paste. Many people know that you will just highlight something and you will do Control C, and you will delete it, and you will put it, I don't know, on another function per se, which is good. Yeah, you should use Control C and Control V to copy and paste. But the one that many people doesn't know, and I myself didn't know actually, was how to cut things out rather than doing Control C and deleting. What you can do to cut is you will want to do, well, first Control Shift to select everything and the arrows, and you want to do Control X or Command X, and you will go here and Control V, and it will be successfully cut out and pasted on here rather than having to Control C and delete. So this next one is a very useful one. This is one that I use a lot actually, which is moving lines rather than copying and pasting or cutting. What I like to do is move lines rather than copy and paste. So let's apply the shortcut we know, which is Control Shift and the arrows to select everything. And here what we will do is, rather than using Control or Shift, we are going to use Alt. For macOS, as I've said, it is Option. So what you want to do is Alt or Option and move the arrow up or down. And there you can see that you will be able to move everything, and you can move it anywhere. You can put this on this return right here or put it back up here, and yeah, that was how to move the lines. So this one is one that I learned fairly recently, because I did not know how to use. No, well, I knew that it existed, but I didn't use it because many people on the software development space like to use macOS. So they will say option, and I really didn't know where option was. But option in Windows is Alt. So what you want to do to duplicate lines is Alt Shift, or in macOS, which is Option Shift and arrow up or arrow down. Anything you want, and you will be able to duplicate a line. This is very good if, for example, you want to create multiple paragraphs. So let's say P, and what we can do is right here we can do Alt Shift down, and we'll create multiple paragraphs rather than doing this and doing it like the manual way. We can do Shift and arrows up or down, or Option and Shift, and yeah, super useful. Up and down, and yeah. This next one is the one you saw me doing just before, which was to undo and redo. For example, let's say I just deleted this by mistake, and this by mistake, and this by mistake, and now I don't have any imports, and this home got broken suddenly, and this by mistake, and this by mistake, and this by mistake. Now that was a big fuck up actually, but you don't have to worry. You can delete things with confidence if you know this, but don't get too confident. If you close VS Code, it won't save that data, what you deleted exactly. Yes, it will save it on here, but if you try doing the shortcut that I will share with you, it won't work. So yeah, to solve this issue, we'll do Control Z or Control C, the one right next to the Shift, and that will undo everything. There, I'll let it pressed. And if we want to remake the destruction we made, we can do Control Shift and Z or C. And there we have it. Back at it again. Well, you can do it manually, like 1, 2, go back. You don't have to let it pressed. So you will see every change that you did sequentially. Maybe you can go back. Maybe it was good like this. You let it like this. Or maybe you want to fully set it back. So you'll do Control Z or Command Z and go back to the state that you opened VS Code in. So the next one is for selecting the next instance of a word. For example, if I want to check how many or when do I find the next text called Instagram, I'll do it like the way I share with you guys. What you can do is Control D or Command D. So we'll do Control D and it will find that there's only 2 Instagrams. Let's say my name, Control D, and it showed me all of my names sequentially. This goes in part with the shortcut that is going next. This next shortcut has the function to select everything. So for example, rather than sequentially selecting my name like this, you can select all of it by doing Control or Command F2. There we have every instance of Fred selected. This is very useful if, I don't know, you want to change all of the divs for a span. Let's say Control or Command F2 and we'll say span. There, as you can see, it changed every single div to be a span. You have to be careful with this tool, as you may think that words or that there is a function that doesn't have the same name, but it maybe does, and it could break your code. So if there is a big database or you have a lot of things in just one file, I highly suggest you using the Control D, which you just select this. All right, so I find 3 threads, but I won't delete this thread that is here, which I may forget if I'm on a bigger database. So this next one is a quick one, but one that I use a lot, which is Control or Command click on everything. Well, some things like a function. For example, this is a const or an import. So I will do Control click. Then I will see where this came from. This is better in, for example, home, and we're going to look at, there is the resume download button. Rather than, searching here, resume download button, which you can quickly get in here thanks to the Command P or the Control P. What you can do is simply just Control and click, and it will take you directly in a new window. So yeah, a very useful one. The next one is not a necessary one for coding, but is a good one to have as a habit, since sometimes we need to enter these settings. Which, in order to enter these settings without touching Manage and Settings, you will want to do Control and comma or Command and comma. And here you can search for any setting you want, live server, or anything in that regard. So now let's just close everything with the shortcuts we know, which is Control W. So this final one, this is if you're tired of coding for the day and things went south with the component, you can just quickly do Control A, backspace to delete everything, and you can do Alt F4, and that will be it. Yeah. Nah, I'm just kidding. Actually, I use it very rarely. Very rarely I need to select everything, Control A, but sometimes it's necessary to do so. But yeah, that was the end of the video. Please, guys, before y'all go, practice and practice and practice. Learning shortcuts, it's very easy, but if you don't try to learn them, you will be a slow coder. So it's very important to know your code editor, your text editor. Most likely you're going to work with Visual Studio Code for many years to come. The only thing is, if Microsoft falls and they take out VS Code, that will be very weird, very rare. But yeah, invest on things that can give you a return on time, such as learning shortcuts to make coding faster. So yeah, that will be it for today. It's getting hella dark, but I'm super happy that I just made this video for Mike and for other people that may have the same question or may have the same question about what shortcuts do I use, what I do when I'm trying to code. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one, and take care.